Hi there, just a little video here for you to talk about how to hit a draw with the driver. It's just some basic principles. Obviously, there's lots of things that might be stopping you from hitting a draw, which this video isn't really about. And further videos or further tuition would help with that. But the basics here is we're talking about starting direction of the shot controlled by the club face. And remember, a draw must start right of target and bend onto the target, the leftward curve, and the club path relative to that club face. So we can see here what I've done here with the use of the decking is I've to help us with sort of visualizing a straight line is I've done a little um, curve of T's here to denote the club coming into the ball from this inside path. A straight approach would obviously be something like that, and obviously from the outside would look over there. So we've got a nice inside path with a club face pointing slightly right of the target, which is going to give us a nice draw flight. What we're looking to do is obviously get the club face a little closed relative to that swing path. So if the path of the club was going 6 degrees out to the right, but the club face was only pointing 3 degrees to the right, we'd get a nice little draw. So one of the things I think that's important is how we sit the driver. Now, all drivers, hybrids and woods, have a horizontal bulge to the club face. So that means that the club face, you probably can't quite see it there, but the club face has a bulge to it from the heel to the toe. And that bulge helps correct the fly of the ball. I won't go into that. So the point being is that the middle of the club face and the top line, so we should bring that up there, aren't always, certainly not a lot, hardly any of the time, matching. The top line will always look more open than the actual centre of the club face or the very bottom edge of the club. And I find that what a lot of people do is they try and line up the top line, so then they sort of hood or hook the club face in like this. Now, it's not really clear from this image on the camera, but that golf tee now is pointing down and left. So all things equal, this ball is now, assuming that we deliver the club face the same way, is going to start too far left. And again, it's not massively clear from this video, but trust me, it's true. For me to get the club face square, I need to do two things. I need to let the club sit so the top line of the club there looks a little open. And I also need to make sure that the shaft sits a little forward. So from my viewpoint now, the shaft isn't in line, it's ahead of that. So it looks a little odd if you're not used to doing this, because two things are happening here. The top line looks way open and the shaft looks too far forward. But trust me, that club now is nicely lined up. If you now tested it in front of a mirror, in front of a reflection, you would now see, let's have a look there, there we go. You would now see, let's get it right, that for the club to sit vertical, you can just about make it out there, it has to look like it's leaning forward. If I now put the club in line with my eye line, club face points left, and look at how far the shaft is leaning back. So just a little demonstration of how we must get the feeling of how the club must sit and therefore approach more in this direction with this sort of lean to get the ball starting right, because the club face is orientating itself out to the right of target. If I try and line things up or line up the top edge, the club starts to point left. So I hope this helps, and a little bit of confusion about why you might not be able to draw your driver.